Welcome, my fellow Virgos. This reading is for the one that keeps showing up, keeps doing things right, and keeps telling themselves they're fine, even when your heart is quietly exhausted. So if you've been holding it together, well, something in love feels unfinished, unresolved, or even unsaid, stay with me. This reading is going to explain why. So take what resonates and leave the rest because your intuition is sharper than many of you think. So we will break this down into a spread using Mother Mary. Well, we're not using her. She'll open up your reading. Crystal Vision is what we will use to go deeper. And then the Universal Tarot is going to be the main spread. I'm going to bring the lid down. Get everything in place. So I am going to do the Celtic Cross. Get rid of my coffee. So I'll do the Celtic Cross, and I'll explain to you what each position means, because they all have their meaning. And I just have to say, these readings have been bringing a lot of clarity. I feel like I brought the lid down too far. All right, let's start with Mother Mary. Let's get right into your reading. My fellow Virgos. By the way, it can be any placement of Virgo. And I know some of you are intuitively guided. I know how our guides work. If there's a message, they're gonna get this reading to you somehow, some way. And in that, I trust. So, Virgo, love, Mother Mary, help us out here. Help us out. Okay. So the first thing we get is inner truth or inner child. Truth is the second one. Inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. You know, as a Virgo myself, I do have to say that sometimes I can be all work and no play. And for some reason, I feel like that's what it's talking about. I feel like Mother Mary is saying you need to let your inner child come out and have some fun. Whatever that may be for you. Like I can see you in my mind's eye. Some of you are turning music on and you're just dancing like no one's watching, whether someone's watching or not. Doesn't matter. I just feel you, like I feel you moving your body in like ways that just feel free. So, okay, I get it, what Mother Mary is trying to say. And then truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. So, your truth. Speaking your truth lovingly, but still speaking it. All right. So, Mother Mary's messages, I'm telling you, will come out in the spread. Like what Mother Mary is telling us, we'll see somewhere in the spread. I just feel it. So for the main spread, I'm using the Universal Tarot. And everything is always pre-shuffled. But I do like to shuffle once, at least once with you here. And I didn't like that shuffle, so I accept this one. Just give him a cut. And I do like to put the cards face down because I like the mystery of discovering. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. There's our first 4 cards. So, let me tell you how we're doing this. Number 1, this is current energy. This is what's going on right now, what you may be dealing with. And then number 2 is what crosses it. This can be something that benefits, helps you accomplish something or love, or it could be what may come between that. So we shall see. Number 3 is what I call the crown. This is the unsubconscious mind, the subconscious mind, the unsubconscious mind. But I really feel like it's the crown. And then this is your past. Number 5 is your conscious mind. So these are things that you are aware of or very soon will be. Next is your near future. Why your near future? Because I don't want to know what's going to happen 5 years from now. I want to know what's going to happen soon. But you know what? My guides know that's the way I like to read. Next, it's you. All about you, what we need to know about you. And then the external factors in your life, external noise, or it can also be something very positive. Next, your hopes and your fears. I hope it's your hopes. And last is what we call the final outcome. But I want to remind you that outcome can change. It is you of free will. All right. Oh, I just knew I was going to knock those cards down. All right. Are you ready? I'm ready. Current energy. Well, hello, Temperance. Hello, Divine Timing. Wow. So, Temperance, first of all, it's a card of Sagittarius. But you know, Virgo, I'm going to say forget the sign, unless you relate to that. But Temperance is about divine timing. Her first message is patience. And you know, where some people get upset when we talk about divine timing is we think it's always us waiting on divine timing. But sometimes divine timing is waiting on us. Like, when you're ready, we're ready. Another thing I love about Temperance is she's mixing the loving waters of 2 cups. Soulmates. In their right time. In their right time. So right off the bat, I know we're talking about soulmates. So let's see what crosses it. A choice. A decision. 7 of Cups can be very chaotic energy. It could be something that happens on a very chaotic day. You know, it's interesting because many of you know Sam and I's story. And the night that he did reach out to me, because those who don't know, he was my first love, as a teenager. But then we broke up, and then 40 years later, he called me. I lived in a different state. Um, it's just a crazy story. It's really a beautiful story. But it's a story about divine timing. So, anyways, it happened on in a very chaotic moment. My phone rang. Everything changed. Everything changed. So here's this cup being presented to you. Do you choose it or do you not? Some of you may have options. There may be more than one person that wants your affection. But you have Temperance, divine energy, helping you out here. So we know one of those cups is a soulmate. We know one of those cups is in its divine timing. And because Temperance is in the current energy, this feels like divine timing to me. So let's look at the subconscious mind, but also the root. Oh, wow. The world. The next chapter. And by the way, this is the Fool. And the Fool is about the willingness to take a leap of faith. When you see the world, you know that something has come to completion. Something new is about to begin. And in the world's energy, and I love that this is falling under what I call the root, the world's energy, when you move into this next chapter, I often feel it's for the rest of your life because I feel that in this energy, you are very spiritually connected. Doesn't mean you go around talking like spiritual lingo, but you get it. You know that you have guides. You know that divine truly is helping. But you also know that something has come to completion. And I have a feeling when we look at the past, let's just go ahead and look at it. Look at this, the wheel. Interesting, the wheel. It's like the wheel is spinning. Or did I put a wedge in the wheel? Did I put a wedge in the wheel to stop this wheel from spinning? Because I was uncertain. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that this is moving you towards a destined time. And it may be fear, or for some of you, it may be one of those other cups that kind of, you didn't know, is this going anywhere? You know, again, how I was feeling in the beginning, where there were some things like left unfinished, but maybe they were meant to be unfinished. Because the world literally signifies your next chapter, not the past, your next chapter. And the wheel, your destiny. Take that wedge out and watch this wheel start to spin, especially with Temperance right there. Look at the major arcanas. Out of 4 cards, 3 of them are major arcanas. And not just any old major arcanas. The best. Temperance, divine timing, working to bring 2 soulmates together. The wheel, your destiny. The world, your next chapter. And you as the Fool. That means the willingness to take a leap of faith. So let's go up to the conscious mind. We have the moon. Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. The moon can certainly put a little fear in us because, you know, when I see the moon, I think I can only see as far as the moonlight allows me to see. Where the sun, everything is clear. But maybe I'm not meant to see further than that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm meant to enjoy each and every moment and then let the rest just unfold. Because this is also very dreamy energy. So I feel like it's twofold. I feel like for some, there's been a fear of change because I don't know where it's going to lead me. You know what I want to say? I want to say, look at that more as an adventure. Like, where am I going to end up? Because think of the dreaminess. There may be something that happens around a full moon also. All right, well, let's look at your near future. The 8 of Pentacles, perfect Virgo card, I have to say. This is really when we're focusing on our craft. But in a love reading, the 8 of Pentacles can really answer a question. How do I know that this potential new love will be any different than the rest? It tells you that if the love and the people involved are willing to focus on it, it will only grow. This is also a number 8, new beginning, and the number of infinity. so much spiritual energy here. That number of infinity, I feel like it applies also. I also get the sense that for some of you, this is where you've been putting your attention on your craft, as I've been also. And I feel like that's where Mother Mary is saying, all work and no play. You know, let me say this though. I know that some of you were dealing with something pretty difficult. Someone probably pretty difficult. They could have like just cut you off, that type of energy. And I feel like instead of, well, I'm sure you were sad and all that, but I feel like what you did is you poured your energy into your craft instead. And some of you may have created a business out of it. And that may be exactly what was meant to happen, especially for Virgo. It's important that we have our independence. And it doesn't mean like freedom from people. It means freedom to do what feels right, what feels good. Freedom to practice my craft and only get better and better at it. So if that's like, if you feel that that's what you did, you put your focus on your craft. I'm just going to call it that. I feel like you were doing exactly what you were meant to do. Okay, let's look at you. Look at this. First of all, this is a Virgo card. This is material harvest. This is reaping the benefits of your hard work. This, my friends, is independence. And no one can take that from you. I feel like it was important that you find what you love, what you're good at. I feel like that was also part of your soul's calling. So love, yes, but your craft also. Both are part of your destiny. And look at you reaping the benefits of it. And if we're going to speak of money, the Eight of Pentacles asks you to be willing to go into something as the apprentice, knowing that if you focus on it, one day you will be the master teacher. And here you are. And so it is. But you know what I really love about this as it relates to love? You feel strong. You don't need someone to come in and, take care of your finances. Matter of fact, I feel like the opposite. Like you're creating something here. And it's not about letting it go. Not at all. Boy, I feel very proud. All right, let's look at the external. By the way, I am going to come back with the crystal vision and we'll go over the spread so we can go a little deeper. But let's look at the external. Look at that. What is so interesting? It's like my guides. Well, it's not like it. They hear me. They hear me. Because when I saw the Nine of Pentacles, the first thing I thought to myself is like, oh, I hope we get the Ace of Pentacles. Why? Because that turns it into the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, you're not alone. The Ace of Pentacles. This means something is coming into your physical world. This is tangible. This isn't just an energy. This is tangible. Excuse me, just 1 second. Okay, sorry, I had a knock at the door. So look at that. The Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and another pentacle. we're at the Ten of Pentacles. You know, I have a feeling, Virgo, I have a feeling that who's ever coming into your life, that they do something, I want to say something similar. But let me just put it this way. I feel like what you do, they will respect. And whether you decide to collaborate, because again, I feel like they have, especially if you're doing something spiritual or using your spirituality, let's put it that way. You know, I want to say, because it was just put in my head, this is a match made in heaven. That's what I just heard. All right, well, let's keep going. So, your hopes and your fears. The Hierophant. Interesting. Card of Taurus. It is a 5. So I have a feeling the fear is change. But the Hierophant wants you to ask yourself a few questions. You know, are you living life according to your morals, to your standards? And anyone who comes into your life, is it important that their morals don't have to match yours, that they have high morals versus no morals? That you're done with. I just feel that. So, hopes and fears. I feel the fear is change. Another reason why someone put a wedge in the wheel. Stop it from spinning. I feel like Mother Mary took that wedge out, though. Okay? And let's look at the final outcome. Well, another Virgo card, mirroring each other. 9 of Pentacles and the Hermit, both Virgo. But this is about your spirituality. You know, I just feel like Virgos are natural healers. I feel like there are more tarot readers that are Virgos than any other sign. I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know if it's true, but I feel it. The Hermit means that sometime, somewhere, you've gone through the dark night of the soul. Someone or something may have brought you down to your knees. But in that energy, you started seeking the light. And what you realize is you are the light. You are your own savior. But not just that. Once you have that realization, then you naturally want to help others. It's like if you've had a spiritual awakening, I want to help others. I want to share my wisdom. And you put that together with the 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I always notice with this Hierophant are these keys, 2 keys. Feels like the keys to our kingdom. And maybe the Hermit's beacon of light is going to lead the way. This feels very spiritual. This feels natural Virgo energy. And let's face it, not everybody can take us because we are an independent sign. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm the type where, I had to learn the art of delegation because I think, well, who can do what I want to be done but me? But anyway, it's interesting that the Hermit is looking over at the moon. And it's almost like the Hermit's lantern is illuminating the fear of the uncertainty. Like, I'm going to help. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups, that makes sense. So, number one, five, change. In this energy, though, this looks sad. And it is. Because this is where, and by the way, looks like the same cloak of the Hermit. But this is where someone is really focusing on the cups that have been knocked over. It didn't work out. That maybe didn't give us the love that we deserve. But the truth is, maybe none of them were your true love. They were your love, but maybe not your true love. Because the truth of the Five of Cups is there's two cups that sit behind this person. And when they don't focus, or they're willing to take their focus off the past and start thinking about the potential of my tomorrow, they're gonna come across those two cups. Empress is gonna make sure. Chariot under that. I get the sense that some of you don't realize your full potential. And for those who don't, I feel like it's because of outside noise. You know what I mean? Like, I could see someone telling you, like, you say, I'm going to start a business. Well, you can't do that. You can't quit your job and start a business. Well, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And you're being true to you. And that's really all that is asked, is just to be true. Even Mother Mary, truth, right? All right, let's bring in the crystal vision. And let's go over this. And we'll start at the current position, current energy. Where right now we have Temperance and the Seven of Cups. All right. Whoa. Boy, that didn't take long. All right. First, we get the World again. It's like Temperance is being very direct now. It is time. Something has come to completion, and you just have to let it. But it is the promise of this new chapter, which feels beautiful. I do feel it's unexpected. And I hate saying all the time to trust in divine timing. But I have to tell you, the last couple readings I've done, I feel like divine is waiting on us. It's not about divine timing that's way out there. It's more about letting something come to full completion. So what wants to begin now can begin. We have the Five of Wands, and I definitely feel like that's talking about your past, because it is five. This, my friends, is ego. This is drama. This is fighting. Have I been fighting for someone to love me? I mean, probably. And listen, we've all done that. And there's zero judgment. But the truth is, you shouldn't have to fight for someone to love you. Like, we have to learn to accept if they're showing us different than what we want. That has to be our answer. Doesn't have to be. But it would serve us. Because otherwise, it's just drama. And then get the Queen of Cups. And I definitely feel this is you. Of course, If you are connected to a Queen of Cups, it can be that. But I feel this is you because we're doing a love reading. This is talking about your emotions. Queen of Cups is someone who, to me, really does love. But not just any old love. Love teaches us. Like, I honestly believe that everyone we've loved along the way was a stepping stone to our ultimate love. This person really values partnership. And I feel this is what you're asking for. True partnership. Not drama. Not ego. And by the way, in the Five of Wands, I feel like whoever I'm fighting with, they're never going to back down. They're never going to say the words, I'm wrong, you're right. Or if they do, they don't mean it. Like they're pacifying you. It makes me mad. Like all of a sudden I feel mad. Like, who are they to treat you like that? But Temperance is like, this has got to go. It's not serving you. Temperance is mixing the loving waters of 2 cups. The 5 of Cups. We know there's 2 cups behind that. Behind what? Behind the change. Even the Hermit. This is probably why we went into, for some, a dark night of the soul. But in that dark night of the soul, this is where you're really learning probably more than you ever expected. Okay? I accept that. I am going to look at the wheel just because I want to know. I'm going to pick this up though. I don't know. I just want to know. The 9 of Pentacles again. And the Knight of Swords. Interesting. Knight of Swords can be communication. Communication coming in. I feel like when you see a knight will complete their mission. Unless they're reversed, but it wasn't. That wedge that I feel someone putting in that wheel. It may be on a subconscious level. Though at the same time, part of me feels like, well, maybe Divine put that wedge there. Because maybe this time period that has just gone by, like maybe 2025, the representation of the Hermit was about your finances, was about creating independence for yourself. So part of me now feels like Temperance put the wedge in the wheel because your soul not only came here for love, but for many other things. But for many of you, just like my business is my baby. You know what I mean? I love what I do, even though it's hard work. That's exactly what I feel here. Loving of what you do. Let's not forget the Ace of Pentacles is also coming in. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the world. And again, this is in your subconscious mind for the root. 6 of Cups. Over the world. So even though this may speak of someone of the past, it wouldn't be someone who has any intentions of hurting you. because this energy is about nostalgia. If this is a person, this is someone, when I think about them, I have happy memories. This could be someone back in the day. This could be someone from a past life. And how you'll know is the energy will just feel familiar. So, I feel like one or the other is happening. Well, let me put it no, I shouldn't have said that. For some of you, I do feel like you're going to know who this person is. And for others, I do feel like this is past lives. And I have to say, past lives has been a theme at this table for months. And I don't know, maybe this is a time where past life loves are coming together. Let's see if anything else wants to come out with that. So, I love it coming over the world because it is happiness. It is nostalgia. It is happy memories. I'm not thinking about I'm not in the Five of Cups in this energy. Remember how we saw that Knight of Swords? Wow. This may be who's going to communicate. This is right over your wheel. The Six of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Wow. Right off the bat, I know what this means. Everything you've learned in your relationships, not just one, but all of them. This is Six of Swords is moving on, and it's coming over the perfect energy of the world. Page of Pentacles says, you've been learning, you've been growing, you've been learning how to leave. You've been learning to move even in the uncertainties. Why? Because you know you deserve more than what you were getting. Six of Swords, you have to look back one card. What am I moving on from? Five of Swords. Toxic energy. People who take more than their fair share. People that I personally don't feel we can trust. Especially if you add the Five of Wands on top of that. Like, where I felt like you'll never get them to admit that they're wrong. Let me correct that. They may say, oh yeah, you're right, I'm wrong. But they don't mean it. You're learning your own value. You're learning that you deserve real love, not half love. Six and six, 66. And this is your inner child energy. And that's what Mother Mary brought out, your inner child. So, that tells me that your inner child could have felt injured, but you can heal that. And sometimes I feel like if we just look at it from a different perspective, not everyone is going to love us in the way that we deserve. But everyone is going to teach us something, or we're teaching them something. Well, this shows you learning and growing. This shows you moving away from what is no longer working. Moving away from those who disrespect you. Like, I just get this sense like, they don't deserve my time. I have a feeling someone else. So what I'm going to do is go right up to the conscious mind and see what mirrors it. We already have the moon. Oh my gosh. King of Swords. Can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. King of Swords to me, though, speaks about integrity, truth. Mother Mary, truth. So this is someone who speaks their truth. And I feel like that is important for you. I know it's important for me as a Virgo. Like, lie to me once. Maybe I'll give you another chance. Lie to me twice. I'll probably never trust you again. Doesn't mean, I don't know. Hello, soulmates. Hello, soulmates. Everything was pointing to this. And here it is in the conscious mind. 5 cups. I had to clear that energy. 6 of swords. I had to say no more. Different perspective. Everything I was learning. Even the business that some of you created. Like all these things you need to be proud of. Because whoever wasn't, well, I have a feeling it's because they can't do what you can do. But look at this. And look at them as children. They're like young adult, or they're like teenagers. You know what is? It's reminding me of the movie The Blue Lagoon, which I'm sure some of you never heard of because it's old. But it is reminding me of that. It was Brooke Shields and a blonde guy that I had such a crush on. I think it was in my teenage years, so that would have been in 70s. But I could be wrong on that. But anyway, look at this. Is this also the person in the 6 of cups? Well, they're mirroring each other. So it kind of feels like we're going from the fear of the uncertain to the chances that I take. And if I take a chance, and by the way, not all chances are going to work out. I still feel it's better to take that chance, but also accept whatever the ending is. Because often we don't think about like the potential of what lies out there. And the wheel tells me this is destined. It doesn't guarantee it though, because your free will, here you are in the 7 of cups, you're making the decision. But you are making the decision. For some of you, that Knight of Swords could have certainly been a phone call or a text or a, message type of, like on social media, out of the blue. And it may be this person of the 6 of cups. Because I get this sense you may not live super close to each other, but as I say that, I feel like, well, that's not everyone. This to me is like hometown energy. Not just the person in it, but just a period of time. Like when I think back, it's like, I remember that time. But what if you are now repeating that, but now as adults? I feel like the King of Swords came out. Oh, hang on, I got a piece of hair in my mouth. I feel like the King of Swords came out to ease your mind, to tell you that this person does have high morals. This person does have a faith-based system. And I'm not talking about religion, though. Religion may be important for some of you. This is answering Mother Mary. Truth. This is your soulmate. And there's no other way to put it. Let's go down to the near future. Actually, let's pick these up. I do not want to take the soulmate. I'm going to leave that. I don't want to take them off the table. Look at this. Look what reversed itself. Virgo, I'm so proud of you. This is where the walls are being put down. Eight of Swords is a self-created prison. Some of you, it literally has been all work and no play. Why? Because you're protecting your heart. And you feel that these walls will protect you. But they really don't. It's your intuition that protects you. It's learning to read energy, which, by the way, is just a natural part of your energy anyway. But maybe we do have to learn to hone it in. But when it's in reverse, it's freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom to be. It's freedom to love. This is just you being open. Let's just put it that way. This is you trusting your intuition now. Look at that, 88. That's a number that's been following us around. 88. Someone may relate to that. 9, 9, 2 nines. So we saw 2 6s, 2 9s, 88, even 55. And the reason why I give you these numbers is because for some of you, that's how your guides reach you. Okay. I am so happy to see the Eight of Swords in reverse. I feel so proud. Again, freedom. No longer in this contained box. The world is bigger than this box that I lived in. Maybe a box that someone put you in. No longer. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Where we saw that Knight of Swords come over the wheel, your destiny, but in the past position, for some of you, it could have been like, and I don't know, maybe I already said this, but it can be like some type of communication that finally makes you move, finally makes you say no more to what was the Five of Cups, finally opened your eyes with the potential of a soulmate. Temperance knew it all along. That's why she's in your current position. All right, let's go to you. Already sitting pretty in the Nine of Pentacles. But listen, I feel like the Queen of Cups came out because maybe I don't have, maybe I feel good within my craft, but in my emotional world, maybe not so much. But maybe that's the way I planned it for a while also. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got a lot of cards, but I feel like I'm going to take them. Here's the Chariot over you. Okay, that's beautiful because that really represents your unlimited potential. It does need balance to be all that you can be. Living a balanced life is kind of the secret. The chariot means that, or it really requires that it be balanced first. The light and the shadow, the feminine and the masculine within ourselves. But this is speaking directly to you and your unlimited potential. Really, in anything you put your energy behind. The Emperor, card of Aries. You're getting so many major arcanas. Now, let me tell you, the Ace of Pentacles coming out with the Emperor, the business owner, leader, someone you can look up to, someone who means what they say and does what they say. This is someone who has empathy and compassion in their heart. Because much like you, they want to help their fellow man and woman. This person hasn't had an easy life, but this is why they have so much wisdom. And this is really the perfect energy for you to connect with. And by the way, I know it's a card of Aries, and for some of you that may apply, but really, I feel like what it's talking about is the level of love. Hello, Empress. Look at that. The Emperor and the Empress together. Virgo. I would say that rarely happens. But lately, it's been happening quite a bit. It's almost like Divine is telling us this is the time for true love to come together. Why? Because of the type of people you are. You want to talk about collaborating, building a business together. The Empress is the one who receives those epiphanies, those ideas. The Emperor is much more methodical, puts plans in place. Empress goes more by the seat of her pants, but that's because she receives epiphanies and she receives them often, and she knows now that they're coming from the hand of Divine. Look at this connecting what I call my power couple together, right over the Ace of Pentacles, by the way. So, again, the Ace of Pentacles means it's coming into your physical world. And it's interesting because this apple, which I do relate to your tree of life, here's an apple about to hit her in the head. So, it's some type of download she's going to get. Could be a direction. I've been feeling lately where people are just like, our guides are going to like we do something the same way every single day, and then one day we do something a little different, and we just happen to meet our counterpart. No wonder there's unlimited potential. And this is not to take away from you the money factor. That's yours. You earned it. But how beautiful. I just feel like this is beautiful. I would say it's blowing my mind, but at this point, very little blows my mind anymore. I'm just in love with how Divine presents what's going to happen. Strength card over your hopes and wishes. Oh My God. Hello, lovers. Wow. First of all, it is a card of Gemini. The meaning of the card is a head over heart decision. And the Seven of Cups right in the very beginning, that may be part of it. But there's one thing you cannot deny between these two people, and that is their chemistry. And I feel like once, let's just say, the Emperor and the Empress embrace, that's it. They're together. It's like this spark goes off. And they both just know. They just know. I feel like your reading is twofold. Number one, it's saying don't devalue the other things that your soul came here to accomplish. And it's showing you accomplishing them. So it makes perfect sense that this would be the time that this type of love come out. And again, it's showing a soulmate. We know it's a soulmate. And even if the soulmates didn't come out, the Emperor and the Empress together, well, they're soulmates. They are each other's counterparts. They could be twin flames. But don't like only focus on that. I would say don't even give it a title. Just feel what you feel. This is beautiful. And I know it's beautiful after the fact. But again, I feel like Divine is saying there's a different way of looking at this. You can look at this as in everything that love has taught me that didn't go right. How to learn my own value. And I had to learn to walk away when someone else couldn't see that value. And just because they couldn't see it, it doesn't mean that others won't. Because this person's not only going to see your value, I'm telling you, the minute your skin touches, whether it just be your hands, whether you accidentally, like you accidentally, well, you didn't accidentally end up somewhere, but you go somewhere and you're walking and you like just brush hands with someone and there's this spark. And I'm telling you, if that's the case, it's going to stop you in your tracks. And you're both going to turn around and look at each other. I see it. I see it. Wow. Okay. It's hard to improve on perfection. And I'm not saying me. I'm saying the reading. All right. I am going to finish this with the romance angels. Some of you may ask, like, well, when, Sandy, when? I feel like when you're truly ready. When you understand your own value. But you don't put up walls. You're trusting your intuition. And your intuition is a gift. It is your GPS. And I know you get tired of me saying the same things, but it is the truth. It's your GPS in this lifetime. It's the human part of us that creates those barriers. But you have every right. This is not judgment. But do I love that you did set yourself free? 100%. All right. Look at this. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Boom. The very first card, Temperance. Mixing the loving waters of what? Them, the soulmates. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. You know what I feel like this is saying? For some of you, there is energy that is hard to walk away from. And no one is telling you to walk away if you don't want to walk away. You need to do what's right for you, but have a clear mind also. And I really feel this is for also those who have been holding things within. I feel like this is saying, get it out, talk about it. Like you need to find a friend who knows how to actively listen. And if you don't have one like that, leave your problem in the comment section. Get it out. But can I also say this could be a connection that your friends make for you because who knows you better? When? Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. And I feel like this is Temperance saying, do you want to stay back in the Five of Cups? I can't make you move, but I can make you feel the resistance of putting that wedge in the wheel. Worth waiting for, and then very soon. You know, I have to say, Virgo, like, look at the Two of Cups and the lovers connected. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at the Emperor and the Empress connected with the Ace of Pentacles. That's beautiful. Even the Strength card means that you have taken this good hard look within yourself. And it is about a new beginning. And I feel like with the Strength card, when you do that, you truly earn the badge of courage and you never lose it. It's like the Hermit. Once you gain this spiritual wisdom, you'll always have it. And sometimes it's the energy of, I know what I know. I just don't know how I know it, but I know it to be true. That's your soul. That's your soul speaking to you. So, I am not going to try to talk anybody into anything. I just clearly want to present what Divine clearly wanted me to present. I feel like this is, as love readings go, this may be one of the best ones I have done in a while. And I mean that in a way of clearly, this is a soulmate. And when we have the world twice, to me, the world means forever. And I'm going to let that be. I feel like I just got to let it be now. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. And I love you, every bit of you. So leave your comments. And you know what I've been saying lately? Well, I think I only said in one other reading, but what I've been noticing, because I read every comment, is we have men and women leaving comments, and I can see where there's certain people I like, part of me just wants to connect you. Like, I hope they see this person's comment and then comments below it. Because I feel like a conversation might strike up. And, not that my comment section is a dating section, but I am not going to leave that out of the picture. Why? Because you're all looking for the same thing. So maybe, just maybe, your future love is in the comment section. Maybe. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. I can't wait to read your comments. Thank you, Virgo.